Attorney General, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, recently dashed hopes and triggered strong reaction when he announced there was unlikely to be any further movement on the proposed marital rape legislation. Proponents have long been pushing governments to move on this effort, but the subject remains as controversial as it is divisive. And now activists are again urging the government to get the legislation across the finish line. Corval Pyfrom has tonight's top story.
Obie Wilscombe's passing in 2023 was a setback for proponents of criminalizing spousal rape would not be an exaggeration. Activists like retired magistrate Cleopatra Christie say the former minister, whom she viewed as an ally, gave hope that the legislation needed to protect against this type of sexual violence would be enacted.
There was many meetings with the church. There were meetings with groups throughout the community, the University of the Bahamas, and I really was under the impression that we were on a great path to having this legislation passed.
But Attorney General Ryan Pinder, all but ruling out that there would be action on such legislation in this term, has left these activists almost dumbstruck.
So I am disappointed that with the statement made by the Attorney General, but be that as it may, the men seem to rule the world.
And I think that women throughout the country have to tell the politicians, we want this. We want this.
Christie says, unfortunately, there still seems to be widespread misunderstanding of the difference between marital sex versus marital rape.
We're talking about a relationship that has probably gone bad, and now a partner wants to have his way, even though the relationship is sour. And we're talking about that kind of sex, where people force and threaten and make the other partner take part in the act of marital sex.
Crisis Center Director Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson, meanwhile, says neighboring jurisdictions have already criminalized spousal rape, and as the Bahamas drags its feet on the issue, women's lives hang in the balance as they suffer in silence.
Ashamed. They're embarrassed. They don't want anybody to know their husband is forcing them. They don't want anybody to know their husband gave them an STI. They don't, so they don't tell. So they suffer in silence. And they are the silent victims of this thing that we are not willing to address.
And so these activists are calling on the government to stop what they say is enabling marriage as an excuse for rape and assault. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.